Hey everybody, Scott Tutwiler here, back with another Photoshop tutorial, and today we're going to do the old black eye looking thing, the demon look that was made popular by the show Supernatural, but something that's actually not very hard to do. So during this festive Halloween holiday season, it's a great opportunity for you to take photos of you and your friends and make them look a little creepier. So it's a pretty easy tutorial, not hard to do, and a lot of room for creativity. So I have this picture here of Angela, and if she looks familiar to you, it's because we use her in a lot of different tutorials. So I'm going to create two different layers here, and I'm going to make the first layer. We're going to call this the black, and this one is going to be our catch lights. Now in the black layer, we're going to have that highlighted, and we're going to go and zoom in on the eye here. I'm just going to grab a black brush with kind of a medium hardness, and it's not critical because we can always change it later. And what we do is change that to black by hitting the X key on your keyboard. That will toggle the colors here. And we're just basically going to color in the white part of her eye completely. So we want to make sure that we get everything. So just going to go all the way around and take your time and do as good a job as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but obviously this effect will look better if it is zoomed in if you do a nicer job. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other eye. Very simple. You take your time and go around everything. And try not to get all the lashes. I mean, it doesn't matter if you hit a few, but try and leave something like that. So that's the first part. And that's not itself so convincing, but a little creepy. So now we need to add the catch lights, and those are the parts that really make this sing. So for that, what I do is, there's a couple different methods. One is you could actually just draw them right on here using white and, kind of goof around. And there's some creativity you can do there. The easier way is to just go and borrow them from the existing image. So I'm going to highlight my existing image. I'm going to grab my lasso tool, and I'm going to go and select this whole highlight here. And maybe some of this up here as well. I'm going to do Control J and put them on their own layer. I'm going to put that above the black layer because we're going to need them there. And let's do the same thing to the other eye while we're here. So highlight the main image again, go and select all those. Let's grab these here as well. All these catch lights in through here. I'm not going to worry about the moon of this over here, and you can grab that if you'd like. But for this tutorial, we're just stick with the main one. And there we go. So we have both of our catch lights here above the black. So if we turn this on, it looks bad, but very easy to kind of extract what we need from this. And to do so, I'm going to go and highlight, again, this layer. I'm going to do Control L and bring up my levels panel. And what we're going to do is attempt to make the whites as white as we can and to make the rest of it black, or nearly so. So we want to kind of torture this until we get something that resembles this, right? The shades don't matter so much. So if you have some blue in here, don't worry about that so much. So something like this. Now the cool thing about this is if this is set to the screen blending mode, then we're only going to get the lighter parts. Now, obviously, it's not going to matter for what we're doing here. But if we set this to the multiply blending mode, this gives us the opportunity to kind of create some different shapes to help the eye look a little more realistic. So you can already see that looks a lot better. Okay, now let's do the same thing to this eye. We're going to do Control L to bring up our levels panel. And again, crush the whites in. Something like this looks pretty good. Kind of recover as much of that white as you can. Something along this lines, and turn this to screen. Okay, now to really help this out, by the way, you can take both of these layers and combine them together. So if you highlight both and hit Control E, that will merge them. We can get rid of this catch lights. If you're not going to do any drawing of your own, you can do that. So now this will be our catch light layer. Now if we go back to our black multiply layer, we can go ahead and use a white brush, large white brush, and we can kind of come in with this and encroach a bit into the eye. You can see what happens if we go too far. But if we come just around the edge, we can help soften that black a bit to make it look a little bit more like the eyeball is three-dimensional. So just a bit around the edges here. This can also help you in areas where you have a lot of lashes and you're having difficulty masking them out. This can also help that. Now we do have a bit of an island here that came through on this catch light. You can see that it's that bottom part. I'm going to hit E, and we're just going to simply erase that out of here. Like we don't really need any of that in there. And there we go. Now, if the color bothers you, you can do Control-Shift-U to remove all of the saturation. If it's too much, before you do anything else, you can go up and use the Edit, Fade, Last, whatever it would have been. We just did a desaturate. That's Control-Shift-U. We can do fading that command. So we can go here and bring a little bit of that color back. So if you want a little bit of it, there you go. So a quick and easy way to make things look a little creepier on this lovely festive holiday season by making your friends look like demons. Yes, there you go. So everybody stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you next time.